Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and I am Mr. Musette. I am a freelancer illustrator from Romania, and in my free time I create art and illustration related videos here on YouTube. If you are new to my channel and you enjoy fantasy art, feel free to subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. Whenever I want to take a break from my tarot illustration series, I continue the other series which I already started, or I create a totally different illustration. A few years ago, when I was creating my illustrations mostly digitally, I've made a series of creatures from the Greek mythology. And for a few days I was thinking how cool would be to attempt to illustrate some Greek gods and goddesses as well. And at the moment I also read the book Circe by Madeline Miller, which is a book about the daughter of Helios, the god of the sun, named Circe. And I really was inspired by this book, and I decided to start another series with the Greek gods. And by the way, this book is really good, and if you don't have time to read the book, I recommend the audiobook. So for the first illustration from this series, I decided to go with the first goddess, Gaia, the ancestral mother of all life, and I tried to make the illustration similar to the old codex book page. You know those old pages where you have a lot of floral decorations around the page. And I tried to include in this illustration some earthy elements, since she is the personification of the earth. I also included her name in the illustration, splitting up the name in two and put them in the bottom corners of the illustration. I knew from the beginning that I will use mostly blue and green colors, especially the emerald green, which I really like to use these days. And I also love how the emerald green goes with the orange in an illustration. And I also thought that this will be the best color choice because she is the Mother Earth. So first I made the sketch in my sketchbook on a spread, and I also made the final line art in the sketchbook. After I was done with the line art, I scanned the illustration and I printed out the line art in the size I wanted to create the final illustration, and transferred it on a watercolor paper using my light pad. For this illustration I used some different brands of watercolors, but initially I wanted to color this illustration with watercolor pencils to switch up a little bit the techniques which I use in my videos. But when I finished the line art, I really loved how this illustration turned out, and I didn't want to experiment with this illustration. So I went with watercolors because I am most confident with watercolors when it comes to traditional art. And also this watercolor paper which I used for this illustration was a new one which I never used. It's a 270 GSM raw Hahnemühle watercolor paper. And I really like the texture of this paper, and I will buy it again after I finish the pad, I guess. So for these illustrations I use a little bit larger sized paper than the initial illustration is, to give the colored illustration all this white space around it, which I really like how it looks. And when you frame the illustration you don't need to add a passepartout because it's enough white space around it. I did the same thing with my zodiac illustrations and I really liked the final effect, and I think I will do this more often with my illustrations because I really like how it looks. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what do you think about the final result. If you like the final result as much as I do, give the video a like. And also let me know in the comment section which Olympian god should I illustrate next in this series. Until next time, you can follow me on my social media accounts, which are linked in the description of the video, and also you can check out my online store if you want, where I sell prints of my digital illustrations, my original art, postcards and more. Thank you for watching, see you next time.